Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shri Vas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, can you hear okay? Okay, very good, very good. Horosho and all good things. So first of all, let us just begin with Vandeham Shri Guru. And we have Chaitanya Devashis translating to Portuguese. And we have Hari Gopal Prabhu just listening. Oh, any translation to Russian? Not yet. Okay, we'll see. All right. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Samhagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishyakan Visangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Kora Tvije Namaha Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right. Oops. There goes the battery. Okay, I'll come a bit closer just to start. And we are here, the devotees here in Italy, they want to join you. They want to be with you too. So we're in the temple room with Munindra Mohan Prabhu, with Madhurananda Prabhu, Shantimoy Devirasi, and with Sara. Sara is here all the way from Sweet Lake City, Salt Lake City. And also we've got Doyamoy Devidasi from next door, and Chinmoy Dev Prabhu just joined us. Okay, so we have a gathering here of several devotees, and one or two devotees, some have returned to the ashram like ourselves, and some have gone for a few days from the ashram. So it's a living ashram in Italy, but it is the London Zoom. So we've come to London, we've come to the devotees, and somehow this is working upside down. All right. And so we're here with Devashis Prabhu, and Devashis Prabhu is going to look after us on the theme of, well, he's given a question, and I did give an answer to him in a one-word answer to him. In the information, the question is, serve and lie down. No, surrender and lie down, or surrender and serve. So my answer is B, and that's my lecture for today. Surrender and serve.
Yes, Maharaj, you win the cigar.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, this is, we heard from Srila Gurudev, this very statement. And so we have I have a passage taken from one of the talks of Srila Gurudev. which is called Surrender and Serve. There's a chapter of, I think, affectionate guidance, perhaps. Anyway, so this is Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj speaking, giving some advice to us, to the devotees. We are not renounced sannyasis. We are more than grihastas. But the griha is the house of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jew. In this way, we are actually members of their house, not sannyasis. We are members of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar's servitor group, and therefore we have much responsibility. The highest responsibility is to serve the sadhu, the guru, and the Vaishnavas. In the scriptures, it is said that every grihasta must do some Vaishnava seva, some Guru seva, and in this way they can increase their devotional life. Our service to Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar is also like the service of a householder. Many devotees are coming and going, and for the purpose of preaching, we are making many programs. So this is also one kind of grihasta life. In the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in which Rupa Goswami gives the science of devotion, he has written one shloka. Anasaktasya Vishayan Vatarham Upayan Yunjitaha Nirbandha Krishna Sambande Juktam Vairagyam Uchate. We are followers of Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Sriman Mahaprabhu, as well as our Srila Guru Maharaj. We are trying to maintain our devotional life with this conception of Jukta Vairagya. We must invite into our lives that which is necessary for devotion and leave aside whatever may be harmful. Mahaprabhu said that we are not Brahmins, we are not Kshatriyas, we are not Vaishyas, and we are not Shudras. Also, we are not Brahmins. Also, we are not Vanaprasthas, nor are we Grihastas, and we are not Sannyasis. Our only identification is that we are servitors of the servitors of the servitors of the servitors of Sri Krishna. And what kind of Krishna? Gopi Bharta Padakamalayo Das Das Dasanudas. Not Kurukshetra Krishna and not Dwaraka Krishna, but he who is protecting the cows, he who is the Lord of the gopis, and he who is playing in Vrindavan and on Govardhan Hill. That type of Krishna, cowherd boy Krishna, we are to be the servant of him. To be such a servant is our main line and goal of life. Naham vipro nacha nara patir napi vaisho na shudro, naham vani nacha griha patir na vanashto jatirva, kintu prajan nikila paramananda punamritabde, gopi bharto padakamalayo das das anudasa. Spontaneously, we must try with our full devotion to establish and maintain this conception in our life. 24 hours a day service to the Lord is necessary, but the nearest Lord is Guru, Vaishnava, and Mahaprabhu. We are to fully surrender there, not only surrender and lie down, but surrender and serve. We are to surrender and serve with our full energy 24 hours a day. And then we must reach our transcendental destination very easily and without caring about anything. This is the devotional mood. One day during the translation from Sanskrit to Bengali of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, many pundits came to the mott here in Navadvip. There was one very difficult shloka, the meaning of which the Pandits could not fully understand. The shloka said, I don't care for Baladev, and I don't care for Rukmini or Satyabhama, but I must do my service. That type of ego I have, but this is very difficult to understand. Baladev is Guru, and Satyabhama is super servitor of Krishna. Therefore, how can anyone say that he doesn't care for them? So why has Rupa Goswami composed this verse? The Pandits were all puzzled and came to Srila Guru Maharaj. They were very satisfied to hear his reply. He told them, Rupa Goswami composed this sloka with some purpose to show what the target of the devotee is. O Baladev, O Satyabhama, you are both most worshipable to me, but please do not interfere with me now. I am busy with my service and have no time to spare. I know that you are both super servitors of Lord Krishna, but I am your servitor's servitor. I have some duty. If their master's table is dirty, will the master clean that? No. If the master will want to clean it, the devotee must give objection. Please give me the opportunity. It is my duty, not yours. In this way, the devotees have some ego. They must serve their master. Please do not interfere here, but go and be seated over there, and I shall worship your lotus feet. This is the meaning that is coming through this shloka. In that assembly, there were great Pandits, including Sri Ram Gopal Vidyabhushan, who was a very great devotee of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and a great Sanskrit scholar. Previously, those Pandits could not understand the gist of that shloka, but when Srila Guru Maharaj explained it, they were all very happy. This interpretation can now be found in Srila Guru Maharaj's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu commentary. The servitor's nature that he does not wish to give any trouble to his Lord. Even when the Lord is lying down and sleeping, the servitor will not stop. He must engage in his Lord's service. Nothing can separate him from the Lord's service. Just as the soldier ant cannot give up its grip, even if its head becomes torn from its body in the attempt. But it is true that one servitor cannot do everything. Therefore, in Vrindavan and everywhere, there are many groups. In each group, there is a main leader, as well as other leading devotees. They instruct others while they themselves engage in service. In this way, the transcendental service world is running very happily, and that is called Goloka Vrindavan. Shri Akanta Kanta Parama Parusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Ganamayi Toyam Amritam Kapta Ganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vangsi Priyashaki Chiddanandam Jyoti Param Apitad Ashvadam Apicha. This is from Brahma Samhita. This is a very nice shloka from Brahma Samhita. One who once reads Brahma Samhita can never forget it. Mahaprabhu bought from South India 2 books. When he came across the Brahma Samhita, he was surprised and thought, oh, this is my conception, and took with him a copy of that book. The other book he bought from South India was Sri Krishna Kanamritam. In Brahma Samhita, all the Siddhanta is given in a gist form, and in Krishna Kanamrita, all the rasas are similarly given. Mahaprabhu took in his left hand Krishna Kanamritam, and in his right hand Brahma Samhita. But for us to understand Brahma Samhita is a little difficult. Therefore, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and other acharyas composed many Vaishnava scriptures for our Sampradaya, many books for our help, and one such book is called Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas. Another, which is by Rupa Goswami and gives the science of devotion, is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Srila Sanatan Goswami composed Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Srila Rupa Goswami composed Lagu Bhagavatamritam and many natakas, plays, such as Ujjvala Nilamani. Many compositions have come for the development of our transcendental knowledge, but we are not qualified to read every book. In order to read the books, it is necessary to have some previous qualification, some primary qualification. Otherwise, if we go to read those books, we will go down with our mundane mind, and sahajism, imitationism, will immediately catch us. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada instructed us to avoid reading any explanations about Madhura Rasa. Srila Guru Maharaj also instructed us not to try to read these books, but first we may read the primary books under the guidance of the Vaishnavas, and that will be very helpful for our devotional lives. There are many books, but particularly Srila Guru Maharaj's Srimad Bhagavad Gita will be very helpful for us. Although the interpretations of Sri Gita from other sampradayas may not be helpful, it is necessary to see what should be the one target in our lives, and that is service to Guru and Vaishnava. This is the main thing in our lives. To get a position or get a chair is very easy. Anyone anywhere can make a chair for himself, but to receive the mercy from Guru and Vaishnava is very difficult, although that is the wealth of our lives, and that is what we need for our practicing life. Our only hope is that our Gurudev, his godbrothers, and other Vaishnavas will not leave us. They are always giving us causeless mercy, and we are able to maintain our spiritual lives with that. Durdaive sevaka jodi jaya anya stane se prabhu danya tore shule doriane. No doubt we are conditioned souls, and sometimes we must do some wrong. It is a real possibility in our life, but our Guru is conscious, so he will not leave us. He must take us and forcibly rescue us, bringing us to his lotus feet. That is also a qualification of Guru. Our Gurudev is very great, and therefore from every direction our minds may be rescued and brought to his lotus feet and engaged in his service. Also, it is my own experience that sometimes I may try to do something about which I do not know much, but there is no fault in trying. Rather, I must try, but the result is in the hands of Krishna, Guru, and Vaishnava. My attention is not to be attached to the result. They will see to that. I must only serve. I must try to serve, and I must not forget my duty. This is the main theme of our lives. We have had many births, lakhs and lakhs of births, but somehow we now have the human birth, so we must use this body in the proper way. We have a very high chance, a super chance, with this mundane human body. By our good fortune, we have received the seeds of Krishna Prem, from which grow the Bhakti Lata, or the creeper of devotion. And if we can cultivate that properly, we can cross over the illusory environment. Not only can we leave the illusory environment and go to Viraja and Brahmaloka, but we can cross even those planes very easily by our devotion. And with the help of that Bhakti Lata, we can go to our main destination, Goloka Vrindavan. When we get shelter in that Kalpa Briksha, that wish-fulfilling tree, the lotus feet of Krishna, everything will be fulfilled automatically. And we need this. We now have the human body, but we do not know what may come in the future, and we do not know where our karma will take us when we die. Jam jam vapi smaram bhavam, tvajat ante kalevaram, tam tam evaiti kunteya, sada tad bhava bhavitaha. This is from the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If at the time of dying I remember a dog, then I shall go to the womb of a dog. Such danger is there. So we must do everything for the service of our Srila Guru Maharaj. Then nothing can disturb us. It is necessary that the mind be captured by the transcendental environment. If we can do that, then we can use everything for the Lord's service. And that is Paramahansa Dharma. So there we are. What a wonderful instruction from Gurudev.
Hear, hear. Jai Devashis Prabhu. And everybody's ears prick up when we hear, oh, if we think of a dog at the time of death, we'll go to the womb of a dog. But that's the message of Bhagavad Gita, that what we think of at the time of death, then like the fragrance is carried in the wind, the fragrance of a flower is carried in the wind, that fragrance, that mood that we have at the time of death, that takes a suitable body. First is consciousness and then the body. But the whole theme that you've got there is about service and doing service. And just today, today, reading the very last part, the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, very sad part of the, it says, confirm I'm speaking Russian. No, I'm not speaking. Speaking English. I hope it's all working okay.
Yes, well, I can hear you in English, Maharaj. So.
Okay, maybe the Russians can hear me in English too. Okay, we're running okay. All right. So in the 12th canto, by the way, which is a very sad canto in the fact that the Yadu dynasty all gets folded up and then Krishna disappears. Kali Yuga comes, a description of Kali Yuga. Oh my goodness, how familiar that is. But in the description of Kali Yuga, there is that verse, Jai Saparikasi, Guru Gorangadam, Giriraj Bhagavatam. There is that verse of Kale Dosha Nide Rajan Asti Eko Mahan Asti Eko Mahan Gunaha. Oh, I've got the verse mixed up maybe. But that verse, it says that the Kali Yuga, it is an ocean of sin. But by chanting the holy name of the Lord, then we've got this opportunity to come home. So there also is the description that one may be the most sinful person, but if at the time of death he takes the name of the Lord, then everything will be all forgotten and he will come to the Lord, which is like so hopeful for us. But of course, if we don't try to take the name of the Lord throughout our life, unless we have some accumulated sukriti, and then which will come to the surface at the time of passing away, then we will be lost. We won't be able to remember the name of the Lord. We'll only be struggling with the things that people struggle with when they're leaving their body. So there, if we remember a dog, we'll take go into the womb of a dog. If we remember Krishna through his name, we'll come into the land according to where Krishna wishes to post us there. But what does everybody do in Krishna's land? Everything, the trees, the birds, the fish, everything, and the people, they're all doing something for the satisfaction of Krishna. And by the way, I did have part of what you read as a selection also today, but there are various selections here that I have got, and one of them, I'm just looking to see, there's a part where perhaps Krishna is saying, don't be lazy, don't be useless, do something. We have to do our, yes, it's search for Sri Krishna, Srila Guru Maharaj. This very short quotation. So doing something, we all have to do something. And this is the point. that just to go to sleep when we're tired or troubled, we just try to get away from all the difficulties and go to sleep. Sooner or later, one day, we have to wake up. And so even the perfect yogis, one day they will wake up to activity. And that activity has only two parts, either exploitation, putting oneself at the center, or dedication, putting the Lord at the center. Means oneself, one family, one's nation, one's creed, whatever it may be. But this denial of the Lord, that exploiting tendency will come, or the dedicating tendency to the Lord. So again, activity will come. So Srila Guru Maharaj rather is saying in Search for Sri Krishna, our responsibility lies only in discharging our duty. We must never aspire after any definite environment. The environment will go on in its own way. We have no power to change it. Rather, we must try our best to change our own self so that we may come in harmony with the environment. And again, classic Srila Guru Maharaj. Then our responsibility is never in enjoying the results of our actions. Because we work for a particular result and don't obtain it, should we be discouraged? No. We should go on doing our own duty. Whatever we contribute should be offered to the infinite, and the infinite will mold the results in his own way. Krishna says, never aspire, and this is Bhagavad Gita, as you know, but Krishna says in Srila Guru Maharaj's words, never aspire after any particular result for your action. At the same time, don't be idle. Don't be worthless. Go on discharging your duty without depending on any outside consequence. So surrender and serve. We are coming to serve, not to serve to get something for ourselves or in any way at all. We're coming to serve, not to be idle, not to be worthless. Yes, not to be idle, not to be worthless. Hare Krishna. And there are other quotes from Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Guru Maharaj also, in Inner Fulfillment, very famously, he's got some sections in there. Hare Krishna. So here is one short excerpt. In Srimad Bhagavatam, then Shukadev Goswami gave a new form of Naishkarmya. This is the not getting any reaction, not doing anything that's going to have a reaction. And earlier has been saying, about Buddha and Shankar came to give relief by pointing out that there's a stage of samadhi, such as we feel in a sound sleep. But here, Guru Maharaj is coming to not the surrender and lie down, but the surrender and serve, because Srila Guru Maharaj is now describing that in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami gave a new form of Naishkarmya. Then, again, Guru Maharaj's words of Shukadev Goswami expressing. You say that work is painful, work is dissipating. You say that labor is wasting energy. But now I am going to give you an ideal of life where there is no dissipation. You will labor, but without dissipation of energy. So this is like Shukadev Goswami's expression. And then Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, service to the Lord is not labor. It is a giver, a sustainer. It does not deplete vitality. It sustains more and more. It is life-giving. Pure service is life-giving, not life-taking, not vitality-killing, but vitality-supplying. It is opposite in the eternal plane, especially in the Goloka area, where everything is a labor of love. Without labor, the residents of Goloka will think themselves to be fasting. And when engaged in labor, they will think themselves to be well-fed. Service is nourishing. Service is not depleting. It is not killing. Therefore, our attempt should not be so much for knowledge, for trying to know everything, but it should be directed towards how we can utilize ourselves in the highest function, that is service. And then we had in Navadip this next, just extremely short excerpt, but we had posters. We put posters in the rooms in Navadip of expressions of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, and some quotes maybe from Gita and different places, as a reminder of why we are in Navadip, why we come to Chaitanya Saraswat Math. We've got a room, we've got a bed, we've got a bath. But what is accommodation for? It's not that we're going somewhere to, to have a place to stay and then to just be entertained. So this also, one of the posters that we printed with a little frame and put on the wall. In some of the rooms, we put many different kinds. This one was service from Guru Maharaj, Srila Maharaj. Service, service, service. Don't be afraid that service is depleting energy. Service is life-giving. It is feeding you properly. Service. Hare Krishna. There is more, but we're reading a lot today. Okay, some more by popular vote. We are to understand, so Srila Guru Maharaj's words continuing, and it's not a lot more, short, the devotees can see what I'm reading. We are to understand that slavery to Krishna is a most dignified position, and everything against that ideal is meanness. The only standard of life for a gentleman is to understand and accept the position of subordination to the absolute truth. To admit what is proper and real, and on that basis make one's life advanced, is not meanness. To understand one's proper position and to understand one's proper duty and discharge it, that is a gentleman's life. To accept what is truth. What is considered to be meanness will be removed very soon. And what is really for our welfare and beneficial to us will increase. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. And this is quite a famous excerpt, of course, because that little book, Inner Fulfillment, people tend to read, devotees tend to read the small books. And we're happy that they do, because in a very small way, really, there is so much to make our life change into the dignified life, the life of a gentleman or a gentle lady, a gentle person, and showing us reality and what is inner fulfillment, not by exploitation, by luxury, by owning very expensive things, 56-inch television or whatever it is now, 156-inch television, I do not know. But these things, they're not going to give inner fulfillment, but to understand that the Lord owns everything, and that means us, and we are meant for his service and to utilize everything around for him. Hare Krishna. So here's me chatting away, but we have Enakshi in West London, or we had. I really can't see who's in West London because you're about the 10,000 size the tip of a hair right now. Let me see if I can make it bigger. But in West London, is there somebody who would like to share something on this subject of service? I can't even see who's there. Dear devotees. Okay, I've got here Chinmoy Devu, who is such a happy soul because he's always hearing and seeing Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. And I'm surrounded by happy souls because they are always hearing and seeing Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev and their teaching, hearing their teaching, following their program. So maybe Chinmoy Devu, he's expecting we can ask him something. He's always prepared. So Chinmoy Devu, surrender and lie down or surrender and serve?
Dandava pranams, everyone.
Oh, can you flip it on? So it stays on. Post. Okay.
Dandava pranams, everyone. Well, I could say Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, even I can't be lazy. Krishna is the supreme controller. Even he says in the Bhagavad Gita, even I must be active. Otherwise, people will follow that bad example. So Krishna himself chooses answer B. I think we must all choose answer B. And it's the nature of the Jiva soul to be active. Even the position of a Jiva soul in the Brahma Jyoti is a really unnatural position and may last for millennium, but eventually we will fall out from that Brahma Jyoti, from the undifferentiated mass of consciousness, once again, and take an individual particle of consciousness. And so also Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, karoshi yadanashi yat jaroshi dadasi yat. And so Krishna again in the Bhagavad Gita is saying everything you do, everything you offer in charity, everything you do in sacrifice, do it as an offering to me. So Krishna plainly, clearly telling everyone that, serve me. This will be the most beneficial thing for me. And I heard Gurudev comment on this sloka because actually in the Ramananda Samvad, Ramananda Roy, he recites this sloka to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu rejects it. He says, Eho Bhaja, go deeper. And the way Gurudev explained it was that that this is like a beginning stage. Yes, we want to offer everything that we're doing, we're saying, all our work, all our sacrifice, all our austerity, charity, everything we want to offer to Krishna. Once we get in that mood, then Krishna will take some interest. And then Krishna will refine our service, will make it more suitable toward Vaishnavism. So in the beginning, yes, anything and everything we offer to Krishna, we can. Krishna is saying, do that. Anything and everything, offer to me. But when we get in touch with the Vaishnavas, with Guru, that type of service will be more refined. There'll be acceptance, like in the 6 limbs of surrender, acceptance and rejection, acceptance and rejection. So finer and finer service that we will be given if we have the proper serving attitude. And as Srila Madhusudan Maharaj was reciting from Inner Fulfillment, how service is life-giving, and we can actually feel this in our daily lives. If we're doing something for ourselves, there is a certain point where we just like, good enough. That's good enough. I'm not concerned with going too much deeper into this type of work. But when we're working for the Lord, when we're trying to serve the Lord, there is more energy there. You're doing something for the object of the worship, the supreme controller, Lord Krishna, Lord of love. You're doing something for him. So therefore, you must have more energy. And the most wonderful thing is that Lord Krishna, he sees that energy being given as service to him. And what does Lord Krishna do? He supplies more energy so you can serve him more and to a greater degree, higher capacity to serve the Lord. So it is such a wonderful thing to have that conception available to us. And we have wonderful, great Vaishnavas that are with us here. And so maybe we can hear a little bit something from them at this point, bowing out, and I ask for all of you to be merciful to me tonight.
And please, you be merciful to us. Exchange
mercy.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Devashis, MC is Devashis, but I can be an assistant MC sometimes.
No, it's been going through my mind since we began that last week somebody had a question and we said, it's too much for us to deal with that now, but next week we should deal with that. And but for the life of me, I can't remember whose question it was and what the question was.
Yeah, the question was 3 words. What is humility?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I wish we knew. I wish I knew. Actually, we heard from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, humility is when there is the complete absence of the propensity for enjoyment.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I thought, "Wow, how far away am I from that?" I never even really thought of it in those terms before. But Guru Maharaj said, "This is humility, where there is no propensity for enjoying, and that is absent. Then one is humble." So, I think it's, as Guru Maharaj said, always proper adjustment is the necessary thing. So in every time, place, and circumstance, I think for us practitioners, that at least in my case, who isn't humble, we have to at least practice being humble and hope that one day that humility will actually be genuine. But we don't want to be fakers either, Excuse me. I often, when we're discussing this, point to that the novel written by I forget, David Copperfield. David Copperfield, who's the writer of that. He also wrote A Christmas Carol and famous British English author.
Dickens.
Yes, Charles Dickens. Thank you very much. Charles Dickens. So yes. So he, in his novel David Copperfield, there is one character in there whose name is Uriah Heep. And Uriah Heep is the most humble person you'll ever meet. He says, yes, master, no, sir, yes, 3 bags full, sir, yes, whatever you want. Then, but all the time he's actually plotting for his own purpose and plotting for the downfall of those to whom he's showing humility. So we don't want to be that kind of person, that type of humility. We have to practice genuine humility. And so at the same time, we shouldn't say, well, I'm not humble, so I'm not gonna just pretend to be humble when I'm not humble, therefore I'm going to be arrogant and abusive to everybody. No, we should try and follow in the footsteps as much as possible. So in other words, what would Gurudev do is always my thinking in these circumstances. And all of these things that Mahaprabhu has taught us, humility, tolerance, to give honor to others, if we can take a step back and in any given circumstance and try to apply these principles in this situation. How would one be humble? In this situation, how would one be tolerant? In this situation, how would one be able to give honor and at the same time not expect any honor or respect for oneself? Then, although we may not possess that quality naturally at this stage, at least we can try to apply that maxim, if you like. I've seen, especially in the United States, people wearing these T-shirts, like with a picture of the Buddha on their T-shirt. What would the Buddha do, or something like, what would Buddha do? And there's one with Christ's picture on there, and it says, what would Jesus do? So, maybe that should be our application. What would Gurudev do? Not suggesting you make a T-shirt. Well, you could if you want to, but what would our Gurudev do? And we have some experience with our Gurudev of how he reacted to certain circumstances, how he applied these principles. And for him, it wasn't like a sadhana or something. It was his natural response. So, that's what we can learn from that. There's a book, famous book of spiritual thinkers that they know is called in the Imitation of Christ. So it doesn't mean imitation in like Sahajiyism or pretending or something like that. It means following in the footsteps of the master. So we, as students, as sadhakas, we have to try to apply these principles to our life in reality, not just blustering through it saying, well, I'm not humble, so I'm not going to be humble. No, we have to practice it. We have to not fake it, but try to apply it as much as we can, and with the prayer that this can become real in my own life, in my own heart, in my own being, because humility is essential for us. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, these are all essential things that we have to foster within our hearts, within our day-to-day lives. So of course Guru Maharaj said, humility to whom? Humility to the Vaishnava, humility to the sadhu, to the guru, and so on. But it doesn't mean that we should just be a pig to everybody else. We should try to practice that and see proper adjustment. It doesn't mean that we should be fools, that in other words, that anyone can just walk over us. Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself, because we know from our Guru Maharaj that actually our real identity is something very wonderful as the servitor of Krishna. So we should never think less of ourselves. I think it's more not thinking less of ourselves, but thinking about ourselves less, perhaps. So, rather than making everything us-centered, everything should be centered around Guru and Krishna and the service of the Vaishnavas, and not really to give so much attention to me and my plan and my idea of who I am and my, what do they say, my good name, or, my pride, or my status, or any of these things. These are all antithetical to devotion. They're not helpful to us in devotion. What is helpful is to practice humility, to practice tolerance, and to practice giving honor to others. And I remember hearing from Srila Gurudev that when one of his servitors, close attendant servitors from the the veranda crew, as we can say, that one of the ladies there said, "Oh, this particular person, I just can't tolerate them. I've tried to be tolerant to them." And Gurudev said, no, you must be tolerant. You must practice tolerance. And then she came again to Gurudev. "Oh, I've tried, Maharaj, I've tried so much to be tolerant, but I cannot be tolerant of them." And Gurudev said, "That is because you are not practicing tolerance with affection. You should try to tolerate that person, but with affection. So it's not that we're just, heartlessly or mechanically trying to apply these principles, but we want to become satellites for those principles, for those teachings to become real. We want to be able to prove that what Mahaprabhu has taught us is actually real, and that means that it must become real within us. So we have to be prayerful, and I think part of humility is being prayerful, and trying to do our best to be humble, and to try and give up our thinking about ourselves always, thinking about where's the profit for me in this. No, we should stop that. Try and be a little selfless if we can. That would be very good for us. Not, my father told me his advice from father to son, sitting me on my knee, was son, in this life, never do anything for anyone unless there's something in it for you. So that was his fatherly advice to me, and really that's like the you can say the motto of the materialists. Don't do anything unless there's some profit in it for you. But this is completely the opposite way that the Vaishnavas think. I am the least of all, and if my sacrifice can help, to further the cause of my Gurudev, the Vaishnavas, the Sadhus, Mahaprabhu, then let me be sacrificed. It's no loss. It's no harm. We can try to do that. This was Christ's told this, right, on the Sermon of the Mount. No greater love have a man than he who layeth down his life for his brother. So, this is the principle there, that we should try to sacrifice our own enjoyment, try to sacrifice our own benefit, all of these things for the good of the many, for the good of the one, meaning Krishna, Guru, Vaishnava. We should try to sacrifice ourselves for that as much as we're able, as much as it can be accomplished in a natural way, not in a mad way, because if you try to do it artificially, it can make you mad. We don't want to do that, but gradually, step by step, in a mindful way. Let's say, how will I apply these principles in every situation that I come across? And that's difficult sometimes, because our nature is like to always be in a knee-jerk situation. Somebody treads on your foot and immediately you're up ready for a fight, even though it might be an accident. It's almost like a defense mechanism or something. But we have to try to learn to be able to stand back. They would say, oh, if you're feeling angry, count to 10 and then look at it again. And it's true. So, this is different methods and different ways that we can try and practice this, but practice it we must. We can't just say it or, put it on a t-shirt or a tattoo or a bumper sticker or something like that. We have to be it. We have to practice it. And I think it was Mahatma Gandhi that said, be the change that you want to see. So anyway, that's I don't really know what is humility. I mean, I know the theory, but I don't know. In practice, I don't really know what it is. So I'm sure there are others here who are more qualified to explain it than I can. But I also saw there was a
question from Ananda Sarupini Devashis, asking, should we tolerate abuse affectionately? Your microphone is off, Prabhu. Devashis, your microphone is off.
What, all that time? It's just
no, just at the last moment.
Someone must have switched it off or something. I didn't. Anyway, it's not off anymore. Depends who is abusing you, isn't it? If it's the man in the street, well, we may not need to stretch our affection so much to them. But if that sometimes that may come from the sadhu, it may appear that they're abusing us, or then okay, there must be some reason. If we can remember that nothing happens to us unless it's the will of Krishna, then if we believe that, if we really believe that, then we can't think that anything is unjustified. That means if somebody comes up and gives us a slap or a punch on the nose, if Krishna allowed that, then there must be some reason that I attracted that to me, something I did that caused that to happen to me. So in that way, we can, we're not great sadhus, or at least I'm not, but we remember Gaur Kishore Babaji telling the children who were pelting him with stones, "Oh, Mother Jashoda, I'll tell Mother Jashoda on you, Krishna, if you don't stop this behavior." Because he saw that Krishna was the cause of everything, even being pelted by stones by these kids. We can't pretend to be that, of course. We can't pretend to be that. But tolerant. Gurudev gave actually more, I think, more preference to tolerance even than to humility. And he would say, tolerance will give you everything. Because tolerance is not something you can fake. You can fake humility, and you can also fake giving honor to others if you know what you're meant to do. But tolerance, you can't fake it, can you? If somebody slaps you, you're going to be able to tolerate it or you're not. So very easily, we heard that, when I first was coming to the temple and visiting the ISKCON temple in Bury Place, the temple president there, his name was Hari Krishna Das at that time. And he told me that when Prabhupada was there was a man who used to come in the day, and when they would open the curtains to show the deities, he would faint on the floor, like go into some kind of ecstatic trance and faint on the floor. And the devotees didn't know what to do with that, how to deal with that. And so that Hari Krishna Das told me, I asked Prabhupada what we shall do. And Prabhupada said, if you should kick him in the head. And they were surprised. And he said, and if he still remains in his trance, then you should offer your obeisances to him. And what was it we were just saying the other day? That there's this group of Sahaja devotees that you may see them sometimes, that they dress up as gopis. They're like the ugliest women you ever saw in your life, and they march around with saris and everything on, and they said, I heard, I think it was from Srila Guru Maharaj, he was saying that one of his godbrothers like heavily challenged their leader, he said, and giving some chastisement to him. And he said, then to that lady, or supposed lady, and he said, when he chastised him heavily, he said, then the man appeared. It's hard to fake these things, that how much we're tolerant, that you can't fake very easily. But tolerance is very important also. And sometimes it just means biting your tongue, doesn't it? And just letting it go. It's a discipline. All of those things are a discipline for us, but we should learn how to apply them intelligently also. As Guru Maharaj would say, I'm not just going to stand by meek and humbly while somebody beats my father. I'll have to stand up in front of him. Or if someone comes to attack the devotees in the temple, then in the ISKCON temple they did something, and finally one of the devotees came out with a gun and fired the gun into the air, and everyone ran away. Then there was like some mob thing going on, and they came to complain to Guru Maharaj, oh, those ISKCON devotees firing a gun, that's not humble and tolerant, and that isn't Trinadapi Sunichena. And Guru Maharaj said, no, we support them. We support that. We consider that is humility and tolerance and all of these things to the Vaishnava. They're not going to stand by and allow, the mob to attack the temple. And he also said, like, when Hanuman burned down the whole city of Lanka, was that arrogance or was that humility? That was, his humility was fully intact while he carried that out. His humility to his master Ranjan. So, these are actually, it's very good to always discuss these things. More and more we need to discuss them because they need to be topics that are always foremost in our consciousness, especially when those qualities don't come naturally to us.
And you use that British expression, being in London. Sometimes we have to bite our tongue, we have to hold back what you might want to say. But Srila Gurudev, also in his later years, present with us, he said, now in my old age, my teeth keep biting my tongue. But if my teeth bite my tongue, am I going to get angry with my teeth? What am I going to get angry at? So this also is an example of, if one part of the body goes to hurt another part of the body, then we have to tolerate that. But that is an example of the bigger picture, that the outer world, apparently things are coming to harm one thing or another, but actually it's all part of the same body. So we must tolerate things that take place around us.
Yes, very good. Yeah, that's a very important example, actually, for us to learn. That no man is an island and nothing happens in isolation. It's all, as Guru Maharaj would say, it's all part of the organic whole. So it's all part of the Lord's wonderful plan for us, whatever happens to us. Although we may not see that at the time. More difficult to see when you're caught up in the moment, but on, reflection, maybe we may be able to understand a little bit something.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Maharaj.
Very welcome. Devashis Prabhu is the thank you recipient. I don't know what that is. Thank you, we. Hare Krishna.
Oh, time has gone again.
But very happy, Prabhu, to see so many devotees and to have so many devotees together. You may think that the London temples are small, but you see they can fit in lots and lots of devotees all at the same time.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some of you in person, as it were, with your cameras on, but we're seeing all of your names, and very happily and feeling purified to see the names of each of you too. So wonderful. Yes, Devashis Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. So thanks everybody for joining with us, and hope we can be together again soon, if not before, but by next week. So till then, we can give Jai to our guardians. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Rupa Nuga Guru Bhagya Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Samadeta Vaishnava Mandali Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Sripad Devashis Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math London Chapter Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavats, and good to see you all. Hare Krishna, Govinda Govinda. And we are going to end here with Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, and with Sarah leading from Salt Lake City for her first time.
Right.
All right. Dandavat pranam to you all. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj, to our translators, and to all who see the recorded version, of course, as well. Gaura Premanand.
Viva.